Hey guys, what's going on? In today's video, I'm going to teach you how you can use Google's AI Studio to build any application that you want using AI. Okay, and it's not going to be like a low code like Cursor. We're not going to actually write any code at all. So we're not going to touch lines of code at all, guys. It's going to be all using prompts. So what you're looking at here on the screen is basically a Trello clone, and Trello is a project management tool. So let me just show you first the original so you kind of see where we are getting this idea from. And here's the original, guys. You can see it's very similar. You can change different color that you want, and I can drag and drop the cards, and I can basically move the tasks from one card to another. So really standard and classic project management tool. So essentially that's something we're trying to clone for educational purposes only, guys, I must note. And this is what we've got. And again, obviously it's not as fancy, but again, guys, don't forget that this was done by just adding a couple of simple prompts. And I added a really cool feature right here, which Trello doesn't have, which is basically AI summary little table. So what it does here, basically, it uses a Gemini in the background, at the back end, to summarize all the tasks into a single sentence. And also it's gonna tell me how many tasks are upcoming, in progress, and stuff like that. So if you guys look right here, I'm gonna move one of these ones here. It's gonna re-trigger the AI summary, and now it's gonna regenerate with the updated data. And here you guys can see that it changed, okay? And also if you, for example, add different description or different text, the AI summary will change that as well. Again, really cool feature, guys. I think Trello should implement that. If they don't have it, that would be really cool. All right, so again, we're gonna be building something from scratch. So this is really an example. So we're gonna take a brand new application that we wanna clone for educational purposes, and we're gonna do everything from 0 to 100, guys. Okay, and we're going to be just doing the prompts, guys. Okay, so what you're going to need, you will need the AI Studio itself. So go to aistudio.google.com and create an account. So if you want to follow alongside, make sure you have this account created with AI Studio. And what you do, we're going to start from the main dashboard. So once you create an account, you're going to end up on this dashboard right here. And what we want to do, we want to make sure that we select build, because that's where we can build applications, right? And here I have history of my applications, right? And what I'm gonna do, we're gonna create a prompt to generate an application. So guys, let's now brainstorm what we wanna clone for an example, guys. Okay, let's do that. All right, guys, so I actually have pretty cool idea. Since we're using Google AI Studio to build applications, why don't we try to clone an actual Google product? Okay, so let's try to clone Google Shopping tab specifically. So we're not going to clone the entire Google, obviously, but we're going to clone this tab right here. Okay, so now we need to kind of create a architectural design in a sense. What do we need here? So let's add it all to ChatGPT. I like to use ChatGPT when I create architectures for these applications. So I'm just going to kind of brain dump everything that we need for the app, and then ChatGPT will basically sort of format and fix things that maybe I've added incorrectly. So basically, I'm using ChatGPT like my wipe coding sidekick in a sense. All right, so guys, let's start. So what I did here, I'm basically saying I'm building a Google Shopping tab clone, and I need your help to help me create simple architecture for AI to build it. Okay, here I'm saying we will use Gemini AI Studio, so we need to resort to Google's provided AIs and APIs. Okay, because not all APIs and AIs are available in Google. Obviously, it's going to be Gemini. So we need to make sure that we're not trying to ask something from AI that's not really there. Okay, and what I'm going to do here to make our life simple, I'm just gonna take a screenshot of this entire thing, okay, and like this, and I'm gonna do the screenshot like this, okay, and we're gonna bring that to ChatGPT, and what I'm asking here is essentially to describe all the elements. Actually I haven't, so describe elements, UIs, and basic functionality. Okay, so let's do that. So now we're going to get basically a very foundational or simple level architectural plan to build it out. So now it's going to think, and it's going to give us a plan to build this thing out. So off the bat, I'm seeing it's pretty extensive. Okay, so it's really cool if you're actually building out an actual clone using something like Cursor, but I'm pretty sure Google AI Studio won't be able to pull it off because I see it's suggesting Next.js, which is not the case for Google AI Studio. It's using a bare bones React, I believe, which is a bit different. So Next.js, single page application, Firebase could be, but again, I don't want to like create Firebase accounts for database. That's really the point of the course. So it's really doing a full stack here. It's doing the front end and the back end. What I want here. So I mainly need front end, not full stack. Okay, full stack basically means when we're building front end, back end, and putting all together. That's a full stack application with databases, user application, a lot of stuff. In today's video, we're mostly focusing on MVP, meaning we're building out like the visual part to kind of get an idea of what we want to build. Okay, so I mainly need front end, not full stack, and functionality. So what I'm saying, I mainly need the front end, not full stack. And functionality should be bare bones, or basically kind of the front end and the UI, user interface, avoiding any complex database or backend operations, okay? And again, guys, if anybody is actually interested in building full stack applications using tools like Cursor or Loco, let me know down in the comments, guys, and I can drop a course on that as well, all right? Okay, so this is a little bit better. It's giving me a JSON, or basically like a data placeholder for the data without using any APIs. States, okay. Gemini use, okay. Client side, that's cool. No backend, that's exactly what we need. And file tree will, I mean, it's kind of cool. It's giving me file tree for the project structure, but I don't think I need that. Core logic, fast. Okay, it's really going into nitty gritty details here. I don't really need that. I essentially just need this from 1 to 8, and that should give us kind of what we're aiming for. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to bring it to Google AI Studio. Okay, so I'm saying I'm building a Google Shopping tab clone. Here's my architecture. Focus is mainly on the front end. Okay, and here I'm going to give my requirements. And let me see the settings. So we're using Gemini 2.5 Pro, and we're using React. Okay, so the support, make sure you don't use Angular. It's just going to be overkill if you use Angular. That's, it's a bit more complex, and usually you use Angular for more, I would say, corporate type application like banking, finance. But if we're building web applications, we want to make sure we always stick with React. It's just easier maintenance, and it's just more pleasure working with it. Okay. All right, guys. So let's shoot that to the AI. Let's see what we were gonna get. I'm actually super excited and curious to see the outcome of this one. All right, guys, it's doing its thing, guys. Let's see. Super excited. All right, so and now is the fun part to start building out the project. So what we have here, we have the index, which is kind of the main page where we're going to be rendering the main app component from. Okay, so it's a strict mode. I'm curious, data hooks, index. Okay. So metadata index. I'm curious if it's using something like Vite or Next.js. I'm really curious. Let's see, because right now we have components. Okay, icons, constants. Okay, it might be Vite, but I don't see any backend yet. Usually, when you work with Vite, it creates client and the server. But since we're working with the front end, probably it's not going to do that. We have the type safety. That's pretty cool. Services. That's for APIs. Nice. Pretty cool, guys. I'm actually super excited to see the preview. Can we see it? I don't think so. It's still building out. And actually, guys, I'm going to leave it as a surprise, okay? We're going to look at it once it's ready, okay? All right, guys, and here it is. And honestly, not bad. I like how it added this Google Shopping title, which looks like it's coming from the 1998. Pretty cool, creative though. But again, guys, you guys kind of getting an idea. So we built an entire Google Shopping tab in literally 10 minutes. Okay, so pretty cool in a sense that it was able to do it, guys. Just really an example how you would build something like this yourself, how to create basic architecture, and how to use AI to help you with that. And again, guys, this is really awesome. So let's say we maybe want to improve the user interface. Okay, so this looks cool, but I feel like it's a bit outdated. So let's refresh it a little bit more. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna again take the screenshot here because all the core functionalities are looking great. So what I wanna do, I wanna make sure that we're gonna improve it a little bit more, okay? So mostly just the UI. So I'm gonna say this is great. The core basics are there. Let's improve the UI. And I want to update to the latest design system. Okay. And I'm going to say attached reference image. Okay. And I keep making the same typos, reference image. Okay. So now we can drag and drop image in here, and let's shoot that to the AI, and let's see what kind of improvement it can actually do. Okay. So let's do that, guys. All right, so finally created a plan. So I said, of course, I'd be happy to update the application to sleek, modern design system for from your reference. And here it says dark theme adoption. That's cool. Header and search redesign, component restyling, and layout spacing and adjustments. Cool, guys. So another idea I had while it was doing this, while it was redoing the restyling, I was thinking if we could maybe connect some sort of APIs to actually render out a product data in images real time. I'm not sure if Google AI Studio has access to a real-time web scrapers. I don't think so. But I know ChatGPT sometimes can pull images from Amazon and internet and actually show you the product images. So I'm curious if this functionality is included in AI Studio. This way we can actually fetch the images and show them on the product cards from the actual web. And we can then dynamically display the prices from the APIs, because APIs, they do have access to information from the web. So we could maybe try and repurpose that and see if we can use that to our advantage and actually have truly dynamic content. Okay. Again, we're really doing kind of a round thing. We are trying to use APIs to render dynamic data. They usually don't have a real-time access to internet unless it's something like I believe Perplexity has it, and I believe Grok has it, right? Uh, Curious if Gemini has it too. So looking at the docs, I do see that the it seems like Gemini should have an access to a Google search real time. So let's actually test it out. So I see that Gemini 2.5 Pro does have a grounding with Google search. Okay, so that could actually work out, guys. Let's see if that could be the case. Awesome, guys. This actually, what? This is actually pretty neat, guys. I love this. Really nice, really nice. I love the concept. I just see that the little icon here is distorted a little bit, but that's fine. As a whole, it's actually pretty cool. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna say I want to render the product data real time using your Google's what was the code, guys? I forgot. Let me see. Grounding. Okay, so grounding future. Okay, let's reference that to AI. Using your Google's grounding API future. Okay. So we need to render product images, product data, and prices dynamically. Okay. Let's see if we can do that. Okay, guys, let's see. I'm curious the answer of the AI. Is it yes or is it no? Let's check it out. Okay, nice. So it can work. So it says, of course, I'll integrate Google's grounding API to fetch and display product data in real time. Awesome. And then it says for privacy reasons, it's going to tell me from where is the link reference. Makes sense. I have no complaints about that. So guys, I'm really curious to actually now see the actual products, okay, and see the images and if it actually works, okay? So let's give it a couple of minutes and let's get back to it. Oh guys, at moment of truth, it actually works. So if I search for NVIDIA's RTX 5080, it actually gives me the link to the product. Okay, so if we click here, so okay, so the links, they don't work, and the prices seem to be up. Okay, but I do see that there's a variety of different products, which tells me that something is working. Okay, and it also gives me a reference for the brands right here. So this also, it wasn't there before, so this is also happening dynamically. So now we need to explain to the AI that there's something wrong with the prices, with the product links, and also product images. All right, so I'm saying I see the dynamic data, but images are not being fetched, and it uses placeholder images, which are these, because obviously this is not RTX 5080. And some products show 0 as a price, which is the case right here, although we see Best Buy as a link. Okay, and when I click on product link, it doesn't take me to a product page, which is the case. Okay, So let's shoot out for a fixing. Let's see what we can have here as a solution. It might be a limitation of the APIs because we're trying to literally do everything from a single API. So let's see if we can fix that. Or if not, I would say that's fair enough. We did achieve our end goal in a sense. We were able to replicate a entire Google shopping tab in literally 20 minutes, guys. Okay. But anyways, let's see if we can address these bugs and then we can conclude our video for today. All right, so it did it. So a bit of more progress. Now we don't see the placeholder images. And if I click on the go to store, it actually takes me to a Walmart. So we are moving forward, but we're not exactly going to a brand page. So here we have basically MSI, and we have actually the same cards, weirdly. Okay, guys, let me try if we do something like RTX. Here it is. Okay, that's bizarre. RTX 5090. Okay, let's see if we can do that. And while it does it, let me adjust the prompt, fix everything. Okay, so the API seems to struggle render all the dynamic data at the same time, which I get it because we're trying to render the prices and the data and the links and images. So I'm saying still doesn't load the results. So let's use placeholder for images. Okay, images is fine. We can live with that. And we're gonna render just prices and links dynamically instead. And uh, which should be an easier response for API, okay, because we're rendering less data, so it's gonna be more stable. And we should limit max results to maybe let's do 20, not 10 at a time, because I'm just thinking API might be pulling too much data at the same time as a response and it can crash it. So let's limit it at 20. So we only returning 20 responses at a time. Okay. So that might fix the problem. Let's see if the hypothesis for this is correct. All right, guys, and finally, now we got it to work. So if we click on one of these links right here, so the Newegg, for example, it actually brings me to the website with the proper card. Okay, so it's 735, I believe it's US dollars, and just the price is really incorrect. But again, guys, we are getting somewhere, and that is great. At least we are now landing on the product page of the 3060, which is, well, 3070. Okay, close enough, guys. But anyways, the MVP version, I would say, worked. So we would now need to basically go ahead and move into the phase two. If this would be, for example, if you would be building a real life application, obviously not Google Shopping tab, but this would be basically the phase one, means that you have the front end and you have the basic functionalities. So now you can basically move on to the phase two and now start working on the actual logic for the functionality. And then you're gonna go to the phase one, phase two, or you can do it in sprints, guys, whatever methodology works for you guys. But the whole point to get across here, we were able to create a fairly functional front end in about half an hour, guys. Okay, so congratulations if you followed along, and now you know how to work with the AIs, how to troubleshoot them, and you know that we can't really pull images, product information, and everything because it's not really the purpose of it. It's really for demonstration purposes only. In real life case scenario, you would be using something like a web scraper to web scrape the data, like prices, the title, and also the images, and then render them out dynamically. Okay, so that would be more of a real life production scenario, guys. But again, I hope you did enjoy the video though, and you learned some basics of how to prompt and create MVPs using AIs. So you can also use in a similar way Replit. With Replit, you could be achieving better results, but with Replit, it's going to ask you to use different APIs and you're willing to pay for them. So here we kind of try to manage everything with a Gemini's API. And that's a wrap, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to subscribe and enable those notifications so you get notified when the next video drops. And as always, guys, I'm gonna wish you happy building or happy wipe coding, and I'm gonna see you next time.